everybody. Welcome back to I Lost My Podcast. I'm your girl, Michi G, author of the book, I Lost My Mom, Now What? Memoir of a Motherless Daughter, which is available, don't forget, on Amazon only. So check that out today. Today's episode, I'm super excited again for this guest, somebody that also is near and dear to my heart, who I love so much. And I'm so thankful that agreed to do the podcast. He is someone who is a son, a father, a brother, just so many categories. My bubby, as I like to call him. But our guest today is my brother, Jeff. Woo! So he's going to give his account to his struggle with grief and losing not only our mother, but losing one of his close childhood friends, C. Wade, as well. So, you know, we're going to get into things like how does he process? How does he not process? So I hope you guys will stay tuned on this episode. Comment, let us know what you think about the episodes thus far. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on Amazon and whatever platform that you're listening to us on. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right. Hello, Jeff.
Hello.
Welcome to I Lost My Podcast. Just want to take the time to say thank you for agreeing to be a part of my podcast and sharing your experience with grief of our beautiful mother. Mm-hmm. So, of course, every podcast we start off by introducing yourself. So, could you introduce yourself to my listeners?
Well, my name is Najma. Now, my name is Jeff. I'm a brother, father. I'm a cardiovascular tech. First, I just want to give honor to God and Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, who is the head of my life. Najma.
And who is it that you lost?
I lost my mother.
You lost your mother. Okay. So, who can you describe for us who your mother was, or who our mother was to you? Can you describe the relationship between y'all two?
To me, mother was, she was everything. She was strong. She was wisdom. She was powerful. She was, it was so many words into one. Like, I think a lot of the ways that I move, a lot of way I see things in life, I get it from her. Didn't understand at the time because I was bad. I was talking to our cousin Candace on the phone, and she was just telling me, she's like, man, Jeff, I thought you was going to be in jail when you get older because, man, you was just bad. And I was like, well, thank God for my mother, because that's who kept me in line, because,
Yeah.
So, she was,
So she meant everything to you.
Oh, yes.
What is the greatest memory that you have with your mother? Or a memory that takes you back that comes to mind instantly?
I think one that comes to mind is at basketball games. No matter how big the gym was, I would hear my mom. I would hear her voice. Like it could be 50 people in the gym. It could be 200. I still hear her voice. That's one of the things I remember of Mom. I remember I tried to show out in front of Mom in the mall and tried to sag my pants a little bit. She said, boy, you better pull your pants up. I was like, man, chill out, Mama. What are you talking? And she got me right in front of, my friends and stuff and everything. But yeah, she was, that's two of the, not just, but that's two of the ones that come to mind right now.
I can vouch for that. I didn't know my mama could run so fast, but she chased you down for sure.
I said, oh, she for real.
She let you know she was not playing. She definitely was not. So we're going to switch gears just a little bit. So let's go to the day that Mom passed. What do you remember most about that day? So what do you remember most about?
I remember Dad calling me. I remember, first, before, we all got together for Dad's birthday and we was eating, just relaxing, just kicking it. And I think it was when Mom was coming off the chemo, and she was becoming herself again. It was like, yeah, okay. And I remember that night she wanted she was like, you know what? I got a taste for some knee-high peach. Give me a knee-high peach. I said, Mom, I'm gonna bring you two. And I think she asked you for something, and she was just all her favorite things. She was like, yeah, I can taste it again, everything. Oh yeah, that tastes so good, and da da da. And you know, we all left. I gave her a hug, and Amila gave her a hug, and we left. And I think it was 2 a.m. I think that's when something like that. I think that's when Dad called, and you know, I didn't really pay no attention because he would always, yeah, she gets short of breath, and you know, I said, well, what'd she say? She said she just said don't call the ambulance. I said, oh yeah, she just probably just short of breath, like she, you know, it happens or whatever, and think nothing of it, and because usually, I mean, that happened 6 or 7 times where she's like, yeah, I'm all right. I just couldn't catch my breath for a minute, and then I think when you called me, that's when I was like, oh, it's for real, you know. I think you had came over there and really saw her, and I think she was still kind of with it. I think from what I'm trying to remember what you said, and she just kind of just slumped over from what I heard, and I was like, well, you know what? I think she's you know, she's tough. She, you know, she'll be all right. She, you know, she gets short of breath all the time, and then I got to the hospital, and so I was like, and when we found out that she keeps coding, see, I'm in the medical field, you know, so when somebody keeps coding, there's a, you know, after about 2 or 3 times, like there's a possibility that, you know, she ain't gonna come back, you know, so, and I knew that, but I didn't want to tell Dad because I know how Dad is, so when we went back there, I already prepared in my mind for the worst. And I remember we all could see her rhythm. Dad was looking at me like, yeah, Jeff, tell me, yeah, she gonna be all right? That's a heartbeat, right? I said, yeah. I didn't want to tell him nothing else. Because, you know, when you don't have a pulse and you have a rhythm that's called PEA, pulseless electrical activity. Yeah, see, I'm smart. Yeah. Know a little something. But so by them saying we don't have a pulse, and I can see that, I was like, yeah, it's a no-go, you know. But you know, to keep Dad kind of, like, yeah, I mean, let's just see. And then after she kept coding, I just stopped talking. Cause Dad was looking at me, Jeff, you know what that is? Come on, Jeff, tell me. What? I just looked at the rhythm. That's all I could do, just look at the rhythm, because I knew, you know, the worst was coming. And yeah.
Yeah. And around that time, you were getting ready to have a baby, right?
Yep. Junior was on the way. Yeah.
Was there anything significant that happened with the baby that day also, or?
Not that day. Maybe the day after the funeral. Mm-hmm. But that day, nothing that, I mean, he was just, you know. Yeah. But the day after the funeral, remember the next day, I think that night we had the repast, and, you know, that morning Mila had a soccer game, and I remember that day it was just, I didn't know how to feel, you know.
The day of the funeral?
It was the day of the funeral. Mm-hmm. I didn't know how to feel because I feel like the repast kind of helped me out a lot, just to kind of forget a little bit, not forget, but, you know, just kind of get through it and whatnot. And having all the friends and family over and everything. But that day, the next day, you know, it was just kind of, you know, I think one of the things for me, I work so much. So, you know, I was just like, all right, well, I've been off these days. So I started to see, you know, started to feel a certain way, you know. But that night, Amy started bleeding. And so we had to go to the hospital. And then, come to find out, I guess the cord, I don't know if the cord was wrapped around Junior's neck or what happened, because everything happened kind of fast. But he came right after, the day after the funeral, which I feel like...
Was that a month early?
Yeah, he was a month early. I feel like that was Mom and Junior's way of saying, nah, y'all not finna be, you know, sad and crying. I'm just gonna bring you something just to kind of get your mind off. And ever since Junior's been here, you know, I ain't gonna say I forgot about it, but I haven't had a chance to really just sit and just like, oh man, I miss my mama. Because as soon as if I feel like that, Junior comes jumping off the couch or he knocks over something and instantly, Mama, boy, come here. And, but, so I feel like, I think that's mama's way of saying, you know what, I'm going to take care of you,
How has losing mom affected you, if any, that you've noticed?
I feel like it affected me in, not saying it's a positive that she's not here, but it reminds me of a lot of things that she installed in me. Like I'll say some stuff and I'll sound just like mama. Milo the other day was like, hey, I want to go to Japan House. She loves getting the sushi rolls, the sushi rolls from there. I'm like, you got Japan House money? And I'm like, I sound like my mama. Hey. Or, just disciplinary, things that she used to always say. I sound like her in so many ways. And I never really said those things until she passed. And it just kind of because when I think about her, all the things that, like I said, I know this may be hard to believe, but I was a little bad. I was a little mischievous. I know it's hard to believe, what you gonna do? But she would always tell me so many things that, she said them so many times to me that they just stuck in my head. So now I say them to my kids now. So I feel like, if she affected it, as far as the death of me missing her, I feel like it affected me a little bit because, I can't hear my mom's voice. The only time I can hear my mom's voice is a recording that she, message she left on my phone on my birthday, like a couple months before she passed. And so that's the only time I can hear her voice. But yeah, I try to stay pretty positive. Like I said, for some reason, every time I would sitting man, I just want to sit and grieve. I either got to work or my kids just run around. So it's like, I don't really have time to grieve, to be honest. I don't know if that's a bad thing or what, or if it's ever going to hit me, and it could be the reason why, I got to work tomorrow. I'm supposed to be off, but I got to work. So, but yeah.
Okay. What is the hardest part about grieving for you? If any.
I can't really say. I think it goes back to the last question. It's one of those things that I don't think I've got a chance to grieve yet. So I can't really say that it's that it's something to get through or something to overcome. But I would imagine, one of the things I told Dad, he still has, issues with, mom's passing and everything. I said, well, maybe you want to talk to somebody. I think that's one of the things in the Black community, we see seeing, a counselor or talking to somebody is like oh man, you don't need that. You ain't crazy. You just need to pray. Go to church and just pray about it. You need a little more than that. God put things on this earth for, he, little tools that we need. He puts them in our face so we can use them. He's not going to just, like the story of, the man drowning and God sent 3 boats and he said, no, I'm going to wait on God to come and get me. And he drowns and got up to heaven. He's like, man, you didn't come and save me. I sent you 3 boats. I feel like, counselors or other, things is some of those things that could help us with grieving, but.
So switching gears just a little bit. So are you familiar with the 5 basic stages of grief?
I am not.
So it is believed that there are 5 stages of grief that everyone goes through. There's technically 7, and honestly, I think there's more than that, but there's mainly 5. Those 5 are denial. So, no, I don't believe they're gone. I just can't accept it. Anger, I'm so angry that they're not here. Or depression, you just self-explanatory. You're depressed about it because they're no longer here. Yeah. Bargaining is one. That's if you're, darn, maybe if I would have done this, this wouldn't have happened.
I did that one. Yeah.
and then acceptance. We're like, yeah, okay, she's actually gone. Have you, what you kind of just said you have, but have you experienced any of those or all of those?
I
If
would
so,
say the first one, denial. So I was like, man, she can't be gone. Like, come on, man. Like, nah. I've seen my mom in action. Ain't nothing gonna take my mama down. I've seen her, you know, I never forget when she had a girlfriend in high school, you know, she approached, you know, her mother and about me, and just seeing her in action, she was like, nah, ain't nobody gonna play with my son now. Give me her phone. Give me, like I see my mom is, I mean, she's from Chicago, Southside, so, you know, she was never scared, you know, so to see, you know, her gone, was like, nah, she ain't gone. And then, of course, accepting it, you know, I just kind of, after a while, I was like, you know what, hey, she's gone. She wouldn't want me to grieve. She wouldn't want me to, well, not grieve, but she wouldn't want me sad or, you know. And plus, you know, for my family, I feel like I have to put on, you know, this shield that, you know, my kids and my wife look at me like, hey, we good? We good? Yeah, we good. It's just like I'm like the pilot. Like
you gotta be strong.
If it's, yeah. You know, so I have to be strong for my family just to, you know, because they look at me as like, okay, we good, right? Oh, okay. So I think that's just added on to it, you know.
Well, yeah.
And bargaining.
You said bargaining. What was your bargaining?
Oh, yeah, bargaining is like, man, if I would have just popped up over mama's house, you know, a little more, like, man, I should have. I feel like it's my fault because this guy's way of saying, like, well, you should have went to see your mama more, you know, and, you know, so I did that. But it was one of those things I was working too. So I was like, oh, I go see her, you know, I get a chance. She gonna be all right, you know, she gonna be good, you know, she gonna beat it. She beat cancer last time, she gonna beat it this time. So.
Do you feel, so you've said working, you work a lot. Do you feel like working is like a coping mechanism for you?
Yeah, in a way, yeah, I think it is because when I'm at work, work is, and you know, I love what I do. Also the money. But, you know, I feel like my coworkers and people I work with, like when I'm at work, I don't think about stuff at home. I don't think about, I know that might sound messed up. I know most mothers are like, oh, wonder what my son is doing, but, you know, everything, how the family. With me, I mean, most men, you know, we go to work, we just thinking about work and what's for lunch. So that's that's the two things that, you know, I, you know, focus on when I'm at work. So I feel like yes, because I don't have, like when I'm at work, I don't think about it until somebody says, hey man, boy, I sure miss your mama. Yeah, I miss her too. You know, we'll talk about it for a minute. As most time if I go to general. But yeah, so it's, you know, we'll talk about it for a minute and then it goes back to work, you know, and then I'm like, okay, what time is lunch?
Yeah. So it's kind of a good distraction.
Yeah.
So you kind of touched on this a minute ago, but do you feel like you're allowed to grieve first as a man, then second as a Black man in society today? Like, do you feel comfortable expressing yourself?
Well, I feel like, you know, in this day and age, like a lot of that's like how, you know, I'm an 80s baby, so a lot of that stuff was kind of frowned upon back in the day. Like, nah, you tough, man, get up, quit crying, quit doing this and that. And I feel like that was because it's only been so many times that I've actually cried. I can probably count them on one hand. Like, I mean, other than getting butt whoopings by mama, but and that was the first time I got my heart broken. I remember that when my cousin Junior died, my homeboy C Wade died, and then mama, you know, of course, mama. I think. Oh, and the time I had did something with my elbow because it hurt real bad. So yeah, on one hand, that's the only time I've actually cried, you know, as a man. But I feel like a lot of times, you know, we were taught, it was coming up, you know, even, you know, just raised with my cousins, you know, they, man, tough, what you doing all that crying for? You know, we just, so, even though I know I can, but it's just in my head that I don't grieve, you know, I don't cry over certain things. I put on that that armor of, of bravery and, that I'm like, nah, it don't faze me. It ain't phase me.
But deep down, like, it does. Some stuff does get...
Oh, yeah. I still feel it. I just don't show it. I just kind of hide it, around people, whoever's around me.
Do you remember the last time you cried?
What?
Yeah.
It's like, is it acceptable to him, though? Like, is it acceptable?
Do you feel like, as a black man, do you feel,
Is it a space?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, I'm starting to see this new wave of men coming together and talking about our feelings. I feel like that's important to the black community because we go through so much. It's to the point now you can't even be safe in your own home, and defend yourself. So we're not safe anywhere, so I feel like a safe space with, amongst men is a positive thing, but yeah, it's just, like I said, for me, I don't think about it. So it's like, I never really like, man, you know what? I think I need to talk about it. But I mean, I'm definitely willing to, if a bunch of my homeboys got together, whatever, like, yeah, you know what? We need to get together and talk about this, talk about that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that, but I just, yeah.
So I have to interject. So you're saying that you feel more comfortable with talking to a man versus a woman about your problems, right?
If I had to choose, yeah, because, a guy would, a man would understand where I'm coming from. Like a lot of times, women, they get it, but they don't walk our shoes just like we don't walk a woman's shoes. So we don't know for sure. So I feel like I would relate to a man, on that aspect, for the same reason. Even though I know there's a lot of, single mothers out there that have to put on that same armor, like, yeah, I'm good, mama's good, But I feel like probably hearing it from a guy would probably be better for me. Not saying that I wouldn't be against that either, but yeah.
So besides mom, was she probably like the only woman that you naturally talk to about problems? Because that's a woman technically.
Yeah. I think to be honest, I talked to her about certain problems more than dad. To be honest, or either I'll talk to him. I'm watching them things. I talked to mom about this stuff, but or I'll call D, or I'll call Sean, or and I have a couple of homegirls, either Ashley, Shamika, or something. If I have something that I really want to talk about, something that really bothers me, I'll call either you or I'll call them, or but not many. But as far as guys, I have hey, let me ask you something, man. Let me tell you something. What you think about this? So.
But that's good though that you have so you feel like you have a good support system during this time.
Oh yeah.
Good. And then, so kind of back on the topic of emotions, do you remember the last time that you cried or had like a...
trying to think. I think the last time I did cry was when Mama passed. So that was about
3 years ago.
About 3.5 years ago. That was the last time. Yeah. And before that, I don't know if it was 2015 when C-Wade, I don't know if you remember C-Wade, but when he passed, that hurt, that really, because he was changing his life, he was getting his, he was turning his life around, he was doing, he was making moves and, in the right way. And I was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna pull up on you, man. We're gonna get a bottle, we're gonna sit on the porch, man, we're gonna kick back, we're gonna catch up. And he was killed on, Dickinson Road, in front of his job, and that really hurt. I was in Cleveland, and I was in Cleveland when that happened, and I got that call, and Amy came in the room, and I just got up and I just busted in tears, like, man, he gone. I didn't even get to check, So so now I always tell people, people like, man, we're gonna set a date. We need to do something soon because tomorrow's not promised. I never get to I'll never get to see mom again. I'll never get to, pull up on her and say, yeah, mama, what's up, baby? That's why I'm, hey, baby, what you doing? Or get her another knee-high peach. I never get to, see Wade. I never get to sit on the porch with him, catch up, get a bottle. I never,
So with the two of them, because it seems like C. Wade also is a death that kind of affected you also, is there a difference in how you felt grief with them, or is it about the same?
It's about the...
Or how you processed it, I guess.
It's about the same. Well, in a sense, like I was mentally prepared once we took her off, chemo. I was like, well, but I didn't think it was going to be that soon. But I feel like she had a pulmonary embolism. I feel like, because I was like, she wouldn't die that soon. Cancer, something else. If it was her lungs, maybe she had a clot in her lungs, and that probably took her out. But I was mentally preparing myself for that. Like, okay, eventually, maybe a year, maybe 7 months from now, maybe that's gonna. So it was a little, I was already like easing, like on, But with C. Wade, I didn't see that coming at all. Yeah. Because he turned his life around. He's working. And he's young, So.
I like when you're talking about therapy. You briefly touched on therapy. What are your thoughts, your overall thoughts, and is that something you would consider for yourself?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Or have you ever done therapy?
I did. I think I did. We did therapy long. You was too young to remember this, but we went to therapy. I think one time. I think it was one of the times when I think mom and dad separated a little bit, but it was that time, and then it's another time I think with the kids of parents, like AA meeting. I think it was the only time I did therapy. I think, but it was just like everybody sat around. Hey, so what your dad do? What your mama do? Man, how you take that? Did she take your money? Did she?
What age were you?
I think I was. I was either 10 or 11. So you was like a baby. You wasn't even. It was a long time ago because it was right off of Thompson Lane. So yeah, I went to that, and yeah, but that was the only time. Excuse me. That was the only time I actually went to counseling, but I would be all for it. I just feel like for me, one of the things I was always, and I noticed this in my old posts on Facebook, I was real negative, like in the early, like 09, 2010, around 2011, I was real negative. So I always speak positivity. So I'm so positive now, I don't know anywhere else to be. So I feel like even though I went through what I went through with losing mom, I still thought positive. Cause that's the only way I've trained my brain to think like that automatically, no matter what, but I feel like that helped. Maybe it helped because of what, 2018 brought, with us losing mom. I feel like, I kept doing that because I'm gonna need that. Cause who knows how down a dark road I would have went if I didn't, always be positive, cause people will never know I'm going through stuff, and I walk down the hallway. Hey, how you doing? Good morning. You doing all right? All right, good to see you. And they don't know that, it's 2018. They don't know I just lost my mom a week ago. Hey, you doing all right? Good to see you, man. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna watch the game. Yeah. They don't even know. Because I hide it well. It's probably, it might not be healthy to hide, but I don't want people to, I don't want to bring my, I'm big on not spreading negativity or bad vibes, negative vibes around. I'm anti-negative vibes all the way. So people got negative vibes, I can feel it. Like, man, he ain't moving right. I'm good.
Do you feel like that's a trait that you picked up from her, maybe?
Yeah.
As far as keep going.
Yeah. Because even though, like, when she was, and I could tell, like, looking at pictures now, like at her last birthday, and we did the gender reveal and everything over Tree and them's house. She wasn't feeling well, but she hid it. It's like, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. I'm all right. But I knew she was in pain. I knew she wasn't. She hides it because same reason, She don't want to, spread no negativity. She wanted positive vibes only. So I feel like that's one of the positive things I did get from her. That's when you asked that earlier, like how did it affect you? I feel like it affected me. She affected me in a positive way. More after she passed was like, it's just like when she passed, like what she had jumped on me. I feel like.
That's funny you say that because it's all kind of off script. But even talking with Sean, it's like we all got that. We got something that like when she passed, I just feel like it instantly spread to all three of us.
It was like a rite of passage.
Yeah. Like I done became more emotional, like, and then you with positivity and stuff. And it's like we all just kind of got parts of her. So.
Oh, and I got to tell, I know this is nothing to do with it, but I meant to tell you, I didn't call and tell you this because I want to tell you for this right here. So I had a dream about Mom about a week ago, and it was so weird. I don't know what it meant, but it was over Dad's house. It was over the house, and she was there, and then she left, and then she came back after so many days, whatever. And we all was like, I don't know if it was me and somebody else. I don't know who it was. I think Dad was in the house, but she was outside the house. She went up to where the little brick wall where Mr. Fred lived. She's looking like, shook her head, and she came up to like where the flower beds are, and she's like, what is this? And then that's when I woke up. I was like, I don't know what that meant. Like, what is she didn't look happy. I don't know if she didn't like who changed our yard. She went up to she put her hands on her hip. She's like, what is? And then she went up to the flower bed, like by the front door, and she's like,
Mama came to your dream just to let you know she's sick of it. You playing
Yeah, that's what she did. She had to. I'm like, hey, I dream just.
Yeah, who are these new neighbors? Like,
That's probably when she came up to, when she came up to where Mr. Fred used to live at, she came up to and looked at the wall. It was like a dirt, like some dirt piles right there. She was looking at it, and she looked across. She's like, I don't know if that meant, his neighbors or what, but.
You never know. Dreams is something that's interesting to me because I will dream. And it's funny that you said it was at the house because all my dreams that involve Mom are always at the house. Mm-hmm. And maybe Dad's there sometimes, maybe you're there sometimes, but y'all don't say anything. But it's like she's always there. And she's somewhere around, but her presence is felt. But it's like it always goes back to the house. So. Yeah,
and there was one time, it was which I had to talk to Tiffany and asked her what it meant. But it was another dream. This was a while ago. It was when Mom and Dad was in this one. And out of nowhere, it was like an alligator snake or something. I don't know. It was weird. The alligator snake came and it bit him in the like, it was like right here. And Mom was like, Jimmy, I told you to move out the way. Then you see, excuse me. And it was like, yeah, I told you to move out the way. Didn't you see that snake? And I was like, and then it came for me, and it bit me in the leg. It was like a huge one. I don't know what, like if it was a real thing, like I would be. And but we just stood there. It was like, man, it done bit me too. God, dog it, this doggone. And what Tiffany told me was, if it was a snake, if you have a dream of a snake biting you, it means that. She said, well, who did it bite? And I said, well, it bit Dad first. She's like, he's stressing you out. He said, that's what it means when you get bit by a snake in a dream. It means somebody or something is stressing you, is stressing you out. And I was like, because at the time, I guess Dad is doing a little better, but at the time it was just like, Dad, come on, man. Like, you just talk to somebody. What do you want us to do? What can we do to help you get through this? What can we do? No, I just, with that, you sitting at home ain't helping. So what can we, and that was that time, and when I had that dream, and I was like, what is that? And that's when she, had mentioned that's what it was. Something, either somebody or something is stressing you out.
Interesting you said that, because I had a similar dream.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just darn near the same exact way. But But yes. Okay, so we're almost done. We're gonna switch gears again because a part of grief, I think, it may not affect you, not the dance.
I'll switch gears. Oh, I'm sorry.
But no, it may not affect you. But just in case it does, have you ever, as a form of grief or losing mom or grief, have you ever dealt with suicidal thoughts by chance?
No, I never. Which comes with the positive. Thinking all the time and just so now it's just stuck in my head. Even if I wanted to be negative, I couldn't because it's just not how I move anymore. But yeah, no, I've never felt like that. If anything, I've been more pro-life. I've been eating healthier. Trying to, as I brought Wendy's in here, but it's a struggle still. We're still working on that, but just trying to eat healthy, do right, and take my sea moss and black seed oil. But no, I don't feel like I've never had a suicidal thought.
That's good. Are you familiar with survivor's guilt?
Vaguely.
It's basically where you feel guilt because someone is no longer here, but you're still here. They didn't survive a life-threatening situation, but you're still here. Yeah, that's basically what it is in a nutshell.
I don't think I've ever felt that.
Not even in the case of, probably more so for C. Wade, your friend.
Oh, hey guys. Hey. Sorry to interrupt your viewing of this podcast or listening to this podcast. But I have to say that if you want to be a super listener and support us, our improvements to our channel as we upgrade, the more that we put out things on our platform, feel free to contribute whatever you feel like contributing, if any, to our Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo. And everything is lowercase. I lost my podcast. And just, donate whatever you feel like donating if you like to support what we have going on. So thank you guys so much for the love and for listening thus far, and I hope you continue to enjoy the podcast. Bye, guys.
Well, yeah, because I feel like he could have been, because I never forget we used to be almost together almost every day before I went to school. When I went to school, which I was still, I think I went to school and I got out of school. So I didn't pass. I got kicked out of academic probation. And then I think I got a job at Sam's Club, I think. And I think it was when I was, it was somewhere when I started going back to school. I still was hanging with him, still riding. He was hopping in the car with me or hopping in the car with him. But I feel like once I moved to Bellevue, I felt bad in a sense, but at the same time, I don't. Because once I moved to Bellevue, I just left Parkwood altogether. It's like, there ain't nobody, they my boys, but, I don't know what they got going on now. So I'm doing this and they doing that. But I feel like C. Wade, my homeboy Jarvis still living. He's got a family, and everything, had a new baby boy and everything. I haven't kept in contact with him. So I probably need to, pull up on him too, but him, them two, and I think Vale, a couple people from Parkwood, but not everybody, because I don't know what they, else they got going on, they robbing or what. I just kind of stay away, we see him every time at L Race, but other than that, I just kind of left everybody, in Parkwood, and I went to Bellevue, and I got bougie. And
so in the sense of the survivor's guilt, is it like, do you feel as far as like your boy C. Wade? I think y'all still was close, but do you feel like when you moved away, you kind of left him behind, and you could have probably helped him more or something?
Yeah, I do, because I remember I was doing music too, and I remember I called. I think I messaged his baby mama because we was friends on Facebook, and C. Wade at the time didn't have one. And I was like, man, it was something I was going to tell him, because I was going to put him on how to make beats, because I had just taught my homeboy Zach how to make beats, and he caught on quick. I was like, if I can teach Zach how to do beats, I can teach C. Wade. I'm going to message, Tamika and see what she, but by the time when he called me, I was like, dang, what was I going to, because at the time, we was going partying all the time, and I forgot. I just let it be. So I feel like, yeah, I do feel a little survivor's guilt because of that. Because I feel like if I would have put him on the music, he could have kept coming out Bellevue. Because I mean, it was at the time. Now I don't know about now, because everybody in Nashville, but Bellevue back then was a different world. Like it was so, it was like you felt safe. Like you could leave a bag full of money in your back seat unlocked for about a month and nobody would mess with it. Wouldn't do that now. No matter where you live in Nashville, you live in Brentwood, you better not do that. They coming there everywhere. But I feel like if he would have saw that and got on the music and he could have had another, outlet or, something he could have changed. I mean, he was already changing his life, but he probably would have changed quicker, But yeah, so I do feel a little bit of, now that you mention it, yeah, I do. I always felt a little bit of survivor's guilt over that.
So if you could give other men going through grief right now, maybe they're in similar predicaments, but they don't have time to grieve, or maybe they just like are struggling with grief right now. What advice would you give to them, or what would you say to them?
Well, I would tell them definitely talk to somebody, keep a positive group around you. Nobody's gonna be negative. If you have any vices that you feel that would help you ease through everything, don't turn to that, because it's not gonna. You can get high off of it if you up or down, or if you left or right, whatever. Once you get sober, the problem's still there. So I feel like you need to talk to somebody, whether it's a group, of men or home. Well, I guess homeboy is so vague because. If you got a bunch of negative homeboys, it's like, yeah, it's not good. But I feel like, counseling is definitely something that we all should, see, because there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, like I said earlier, I mean, to just find out what this happened Wednesday, in Indiana. The police did a no-knock warrant on a guy. He wasn't on the warrant. They had it on the camera. He's half asleep on the couch. So first thing he do, he's licensed. He grabbed his gun and shot him 3 times. And he's in his own house. That's why I said we're not even safe in our own house. And they had a key. I guess he lived in an apartment. I guess they got the key or whatever. But stuff like that scares me. It's like, darn, you always be like, man, nah, I'm gonna stay in the house, man. I'm supposed to be safe. Yeah. But it's even like I forgot the name of that movie. It was a movie like that. It kept happening over and over. I forgot what it's called. It was on Netflix. It was like a dude, no matter, he had to keep reliving getting shot by the police. I forgot. It was the dude who plays the RZA on.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah, it was I forgot the name of the movie, but but it kept, reoccurring and stuff like that. Is like, man. Yeah. But.
So you feel like definitely talk
to somebody, and I know women say you can talk to me about anything, but most women are not. You say, yeah, this is what I'm going through. Start crying, like, little punk ass in here crying and stuff. He's supposed to be a man. And, I mean, they want us to be a man, but they don't want to hit. They want us to tell them everything, but they don't want to hear us cry. So that's why I said, you got to talk to your homeboys. Keep a positive circle around you. You got to. If anybody's moving a certain way that you ain't moving. I ain't got no problem doing it. I mean, we see, if I pull up and, because Amy asks me all the time, we go to air race. Hey, all these people. Hey, we grew up together. It's like, yeah, I ain't never heard you mention this. Yeah, it's because I don't move like that. But when we see each other, it's all love. So.
And the last question of the night, we made it. Woo, woo, woo.
Sorry, I rambled.
You fine.
I drift. Sorry.
That's what we love.
What's up, ILM? I Lost My Podcast listeners and viewers. I gotta take this moment just to tell you, we need your help. Support us, support the podcast, be a super listener, a super viewer. All you have to do is donate anything. Penny, dollar, nickel, it doesn't matter. We appreciate it all. And it's simple to do. All you have to do is go to PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo and type in I Lost My Podcast, all lowercase. That's right, I Lost My Podcast, all lowercase. It's simple. We're trying to grow this channel, and we want to grow with you. And you want to see us do better things, right? Come on, we need better equipment. But until then, we're going to let you get back to this podcast. I know it's interesting, right? Yeah, I know.
Here at the I Lost My Podcast. All right, so last question of the night. You're gonna pretend the camera, well, we won't even say pretend. Heaven might actually have a direct lens to what we are recording, what we're doing. So I want you to look into the camera and speak to Mom or C-Way, whatever it is that you want to let them know, whatever you want to tell them. The floor is yours.
First, of course, with Mom, start with Mama first. I'm gonna say, "Hey, baby." She gonna turn around like, "Boy, come over here." And we're gonna hug. And I'm gonna just tell her that I love her. You know, I'll tell her thank you for all that, you know, that you done for me. You taught me. And actually, those butt whippings actually did pay off because it kept me out of jail, out of trouble. And it taught me how to be a good father to my kids, even though they're thinking the same thing. Like, these whippings ain't good, Dad. Like, yeah, but just when you get older, it'll make sense, you know. But yeah. So I tell her and just talk to her for hours.
Is there anything you would want to tell C-Way?
C-Way, I go up to him, be like, well, because we're up in heaven, we just find some Jesus juice and we sit on this cloud over here and just catch up. See, man, tell me what's going on with you. How you doing, man? Your kids are beautiful. Your kids are, man, your son is taller than you was, taller than you. He's doing good. Baby girl is also doing good. Man. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Hey.
Yeah. That's it, guys.
That's a wrap. But before, is there any song that comes to mind that reminds you of the two?
Reminds the two. With Mom, I listen to so much music. I think it's some songs that probably can't think of the name of the song.
Y'all use the two-step a lot. What did y'all do? What's one that you know? Like
Before I Let Go, Maze. That was we stayed stepping to that like every time. That. And there's two other songs we stepped. And then, well, I know this might not be popular opinion, but "Step in the Name of Love" by R. Kelly.
That's that Chicago side.
That's Chicago.
It was good vibes to that one. "Step in the Name of Love." Like,
"Step in the Name of Love." That was the other song. With C-Wade.
What's one that y'all rocked out in high school or something?
In high school, we didn't ride together in high school. But we was because we was on the bus mostly. So so I didn't get my car until senior year, but he kept taking the bus. So he didn't really get to ride with me. So like William was riding with me, or either I ride with Dante or something like that. But man, we listen to everything. Probably UGK, anything UGK or A-Ball MJG. That when we was in the car riding, and of course Dipset. The Dipset album, that was Manic Community. That was that one. Yeah.
Okay.
And the Blueprint. Yeah.
Jay-Z. I know my music. Woo woo. All right, that's a wrap, guys. Thank you for tuning in to I Lost My Podcast. Again, thank you, Bubby, aka Jeff.
Gang.
And whoa.
Community guidelines. I guess that's good.
All right, we out, y'all. Bye. Lord Jesus. Wait, was you actually throwing?
No, I knew better.